So we're going to transition now. You guys talked about your sophomore year having 26 guys on the entire roster and having some good athletes, having success. So now you transition into kind of the varsity program, I guess. What comes to mind in terms of, having Coach Waldner getting to that kind of that varsity level that you've been watching at Lincoln Stadium all these years, and maybe junior year, and how it transformed into that varsity experience for you guys as a group?
I think my biggest shock with that was just all the individual attention you got from coaches. The Mulhericks, Birds, Bahulas, and Bruno, of course, and you guys can fill in gaps. But individual position coaching, that was the biggest eye opener for me. It's just like everybody had a specialty, and before we were, we just didn't have as much of that in our sophomore year. I don't know. A stupid answer.
I don't remember a big transition necessarily. I mean, there's a few of us played junior year,
Right.
but maybe 4. Did you get in?
Yeah.
Okay, so Mizzou probably was. I was in there. I'm not sure if Rod or Jimmy Guess or Paul Guess played junior year.
Mizzou. Did you say Mizzou?
But you guys had some big linemen.
Yeah.
Was Genvensical 2 years ahead of us, or is he year?
He was my class.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he was a beast as a nose
Yeah.
guard, I think, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah. And they had, who's a linebacker that played at Mankato?
Altahowski.
Altahowski was a beast.
He, I don't know if he was so much in high school, but in college
He grew a lot.
First year he got big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He lifted weights like
Yes.
crazy that summer.
yeah. So, I mean, they had some pretty strong elements there as kind of transition over.
Right, and the losses your senior year, Bubba, were minor. They
were in the
they were a
last
coin toss.
seconds.
Right. I mean,
3 games we lost in the last
yeah,
seconds.
it was a 500 team that could have been 8-0,
Yeah.
just as well too. So that was I think a transition for the program back. Huge transition after coming off your junior year. I think they were 1-8, 1-7, or something like that.
1-7, and we beat Lincoln 3-0. So our one win was 3-0.
Yeah.
It's Coach Shea left.
Shea was
there,
Lincoln's
Bears.
coach, yeah. And that the guys that were ahead of me were not real seriously into playing football. They partied way more than they played football, and they had Mark Shanka was probably the lone guy who was very serious about playing, and he was a tremendous football player. But the rest of them, don't know if we can say this on film, but they were doing stuff during games that they shouldn't have been doing.
You guys had a really good wide receiver. Somebody was all kind
Ted Hill.
Ted Hill.
Ted Hill, yeah, okay.
But you're right. They were all,
He was taking zip there. He was bragging about
yeah.
being on.
Yeah, it was a different.
That's how,
Cut.
Yeah, it was a different.
Just doing it.
It was a different deal.
In a lawsuit, yeah.
I mean, but that was like that movie. What's the
North Dallas 40.
no the movie that's a Led Zeppelin song.
About football?
No, about the 70s and high school and partying.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Oh,
It's the
Teenage
night.
Wasteland.
No.
That was
the who?
a unique class. Bruno talked about that class
Yeah.
with us, even like when we were seniors.
And they
Yeah,
had
and
some
he wasn't
big
gonna allow
kids,
it.
like
Yeah.
Jimmy
Brinkhouse,
Brinkhouse
yeah.
was there, but
But they weren't driven. They didn't have a purpose. They didn't have the same compassion or desires that we had
Right.
growing up. And we were all buddies. We were best friends. I mean, it was the best time of our lives. Playing football.
He was definitely dedicated.
and I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
because
Weight room was fun.
Weight room.
That was
Exactly. I think that's where we really
so
changed it.
dedicated.
I think because my class lived through that terrible year, when we got some success and the juniors could help us, like there wasn't any kind of rivalry saying, "Oh, we don't want those young guys
Oh, no.
coming in playing." Like we just wanted a good team because we got our butts kicked the year before, and it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we lost, or we beat Kennedy 3-0. We lost to Lincoln 42-0.
Ooh.
I mean, and so that was the worst.
Sure.
And so if we could have any success, like come and play, like, yeah, we need you guys. So, I think that's what made our classes, like, I think, like, we're supposed to have a 45th reunion this summer coming up.
Yep.
And it's like, we should just have it with your class too.
Yeah, we did that by accident during COVID. We had it with the class of '82. It was a blast. It was really fun just to see a lot of those
Yeah.
guys, just like it is just seeing you right now. We just don't see each other.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. Yeah, Bruno was really animated, larger than life person, and Roscoe and I had study hall with him, and he moved us into his office for study hall, and we'd watch film during study hall, and then he started taking us out to lunch, and then he started just saying, "Here, I need my oil changed." He'd give us the keys to his car, and we'd go,
Jim, I was in the study hall also, me and Scott Anderson, and he would give us his keys to the car, and we go to Shangri-La and pick up
some Chinese food.
or his wife Marge would make Hungarian goulash,
Yeah.
and bring that in for
Yeah.
us to eat.
Yeah.
But he was a real character.
Yeah.
He really.
Oh,
For study hall.
yeah, everybody.
That was-
That's so funny.
that was-
Dry clean.
He let me go home. 'Cause I had 6 hours. Hey, Bubba, just go home. Come back for practice.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was a different time.
Fun.
Things were a little different.
I did not.
Shea came over?
Coach
Okay.
Shea.
Bruno, if you messed up in practice, you'd have to run laps singing "I'm a shithead."
Yeah.
Like you have to
Well,
do
we had something
5
called
times around the field and
Pie Squad.
pie squad.
Pie Squad. I don't know if it was just Jake Lynch that made you run the hills or
No,
it was.
everybody, yeah.
It was, but it was if you screwed up enough in practice, you'd
Right.
get called out, having to run around holding your head on your helmet, saying I am a.
So one time Bruno came up to me and he said, Bubba, do you think I'm fat? And, you're in a position that there's no winning. So if you said
Right.
yes, then he'd get offended. If you said no, he'd call you a liar. So you're on Pie Squad either way. So I had said, I'd rather not say, sir. And he said, that's a good answer.
Yeah, I mean, that exact story. Sitting in study hall, he'd always call his wife. His wife's name is Marge. And one time he was talking to her and he said, "What's that, Bex?" And looking at me and I said, "I didn't say anything." And he said, "What's that?" "Marge, Bex just called you Large Marge the Barge." And I remember seeking her out after a game on the way to the bus, just saying, "I never said that. I never said that." She was a nice lady. She had to be to handle him. Yeah, he was
Well,
great.
I lived on the other side of Bloomington until 6th grade. We moved on this side. And so I was 2 doors down from the Shea house. So I grew up with Jody Shea, and they would talk about Bruno because of the coaching situation, of them going out to adult parties, and he'd come out of the bathroom with toilet paper stuck in his shoe, and he'd just be walking around the party with toilet paper, and people were like,
It was all intentional.
but he'd probably just
was him.
stuck it in his
Yeah.
shoe and wanted the laughs. That's just the kind of guy he was.